If we don't have transportation, the community itself will suffer.
Students in this school district will go back to school in the fall, but it's up to the parents to get them there.
Summer science programs have gone digital because of COVID-19. We take you to a virtual workshop where kids are learning to code and 3D print mini rockets.
The class of 2020 for one New Jersey school district was able to celebrate their accomplishments safely and together. Good evening and welcome to PBS 39 News Tonight. I'm Stacey Inez with the rundown. Pennsylvania added another 849 cases of coronavirus to its total count overnight. 230 of them were in the Pittsburgh area, where some are bracing for the possibility of new restrictions because of a spike there in cases. Overall, the 849 new cases bring the state total to 92,148. That's up almost 1% from yesterday. 25 new deaths bring the death toll now from COVID-19 to 6,812. Now, Pennsylvania isn't the only state in the region requiring people to wear masks outdoors. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy today ordered mask wearing outdoors as well when social distancing is not possible. Governor Tom Wolf issued a similar order in Pennsylvania last week. Our local numbers look like this. Lehigh County added 20 cases overnight and 3 deaths. The county now has 4,354 cases and 312 deaths. Northampton County has 3,500 cases, an increase of 15 since yesterday, and 276 deaths. And Berks County has 4,623 cases and 355 deaths. Well, another rite of summer has fallen victim to the pandemic. The Great Allentown Fair has been canceled. Toby Keith and Carrie Underwood were among the headliners for the fair that was to be held September 1st through 7th. The country stars are now booked to play the fair in 2021, and tickets already sold for this year's show will be honored next year. The first Allentown Fair was held back in 1852. Since then, the fair has been canceled only twice before, once in 1917 and 1918, when the fairgrounds were converted into a military training camp during World War I. Pennsylvania State Police released figures today on firearms background checks, and they show a sharp increase. Between April and June, more than 314,000 background checks were conducted in the state. That's up 45% from the same period last year, when over 217,000 checks were done. Also way up are the number of denials for a license to carry a firearm or obtain one through purchase or transfer. There were nearly 3,100 denials in the second quarter of 2019. This year's second quarter saw a little over 5,800 denials. One other statistic, 83 people were arrested on warrants the past 3 months as they tried to purchase firearms. That's about double the number arrested in the same time last year. Student athletes at Muhlenberg College in Allentown have received some disappointing news. The Centennial Conference announced that football will not be played this fall, and all other fall sports have been suspended because of the pandemic. The conference says it will reevaluate its decision for fall sports at the end of September. Now, organizers left open the possibility of moving the football season and other fall sports to the spring. Moravian College also plays football in the Centennial Conference. The news came on the same day as Muhlenberg announced in-person classes will resume next month. The semester will start a week early on August 24th. On-campus instruction will end the Friday before Thanksgiving. Now, classes and final exams will be held by distance learning in the 2 weeks after that. Moving to New Jersey, results are trickling in for the New Jersey's primary election. Vote counts have been slowed because most people voted by mail Tuesday, but some candidates were able to claim victory. And not much suspense here. President Trump won at the top of the Republican ticket, and former Vice President Joe Biden won the Democratic nomination. Incumbent U.S. Senator Cory Booker won in his challenge in the Democratic primary. The race to identify his Republican challenger is still up in the air. In the 7th Congressional District, Republican Tom Kean Jr. claimed victory and will face Democratic incumbent Congressman Tom Malinowski in the fall. Warren County voters cast their ballot for county freeholder to replace Rick Gardner. Now, unofficial returns show that Lori Chiesla won the Republican nomination and will face Democrat Stephen Hamburger in November. Pickleball has been gaining in popularity, and now Allentown is remaking courts to play the game. The city's Department of Parks and Recreation is striping tennis courts at Andre Reed Park and Roosevelt Park for pickleball. You'll still be able to play tennis on the courts, but they'll also be lined for pickleball as well. The game is similar to tennis, and players use what look like oversized ping pong paddles as rackets. Allentown says public demand sparked the move, and they'll be the only outdoor pickleball courts in the area. The Parks and Rec Department even plans to offer classes and pickleball tournaments down the road. I'm Stacey Inez, and that's the rundown.
Yeah, we shouldn't be detaining families. I can't believe I have to say that.
George Floyd was killed nearly 6 weeks ago. Since then, we've seen marches, rallies, and other forms of protest throughout the country. Those continue today with a rally in the Reading City Park.
We are here today to start the conversation of defunding the police, working to organize more community activism, and to potentially just work towards encouraging people to change.
The group of roughly 70 people were also protesting the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility in Berks County called Berks Family Residential Center. The center is in Leesport, not far from Reading, which has a large Hispanic and Latino population.
I think that there's a real sentiment here that it's time to close this detention center and end this contract on its own merits, but as well because the community has so many needs and there is a lot of really positive discussion about how to repurpose that detention center to meet the needs of the community.
We have such a large Latino population here. We contribute so much to the community fabric here, the social fabric, and to the economy, and yet, you know, we basically demonize the immigrant population just because, you know, they don't have, you know, certain papers. It kind of, yeah, it's just kind of a slap in the face.
Today's rally took on several topics, including defunding the police, a term we've heard often during similar protests.
It's not about abolishing. Defunding means money. We want to allocate some of those funds and put them into other organizations, such as social services. I myself am a social worker, and I deal with a lot of situations that police officers also deal with, but I do not have a gun, and we have better outcomes most of the time.
After a rally at the top of the park, the group began to march. They went down to the bottom of the park where a statue of Christopher Columbus stands. A sign reading "Bring Down Columbus" was held in front of the statue as people got up to speak. Today, we did reach out to the Berks County Commissioners. An administrator did return the call, letting me know I would be contacted. We are still waiting for a response. In Reading, Berks County, I'm Ben Stemrick, PBS 39 News Tonight.
Lehighton Area School District is making plans for students to begin in-person instruction in the fall. The district's $40 million budget was passed last week, but it doesn't include any money for transportation.
I'm angry. I'm sad. I feel betrayed by the school district once again. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of parents who depend on these buses so they can go to work. Now they can't. And the fact of the matter is we are a Title I school district, which means we are not a wealthy school district. My point at school board meetings is that if we are giving out free lunches, we were giving out free lunches over the pandemic for these kids. If their parents can't afford to give them a lunch, how are they going to afford to get them to school?
Busing costs about $1 million annually, according to Superintendent Jonathan Cleaver. This year's budget is the school district's first balanced budget in years.
You know, in a financial situation we're trying to develop plans to get out of it. I do want to mention that our administration team did take voluntary pay freeze, you know, for this year.
Cleaver says the budget includes a $1.76 mil tax increase as well. David Bradley is a school board member.
Transportation is 70 times safer. Our job is to protect the students and save the community. This is a minor budget item. There's a lot of opportunities to provide this transportation service. There's a lot of methods to which they can do it, and the district failed.
He says the board is divided and some members say they are being excluded from district meetings. He's filed a lawsuit against 5 school board members for neglect of duty.
The real problem was when our district board allowed the administration to prepare the budget. They prepared a budget that has so much salary and benefit increases that they left the budget dry for the transportation costs. And the fact that 5 board members, Larry, Rita, Wayne, Steve, and Nathan, have blocked 4 board members, stakeholder board members, willing to honor their oath from attending or negotiating with this teacher contract that's coming up at the end of next month, is a key result of this problem of mismanagement and neglect of duty.
This traffic situation is atrocious, absolutely atrocious.
Michael Hopstock lives across the street from the elementary center and says the traffic is already bad during the school year.
You're gonna have more transportation, more people coming and going. It's just not gonna work. It's gonna be jammed up here on 9th Street and Mahoning Street for hours every day.
Yes, that would be an issue for us, leaving work, taking the kids coming here, because I know it's always a little bit of a mess in the morning, just last year.
Nicole Schoenberger could leave her job to get her kids, but that's not the case for Carrie Sittler, who is a
The
nurse.
school district made a lot of promises to people, and they just haven't upheld any of them, other than this massive elementary center. So what good is this massive elementary center if the kids aren't afforded to go to them because they have no transportation?
Cleaver says they are working on a plan and will survey parents to see how many will use school transportation, but it's unknown where the money for that would come from. Bradley says after the budget is approved, it cannot be changed for 3 months. In Lehighton, Carbon County, I'm Haley O'Brien. PBS 39 News Tonight.